the big spring game coming up. Just how do you feel about heading into that?
2 more left, 1 in uppers, 1 in helmets. Stay healthy the next two days, and then be crisp, be playing fast, and get out of spring healthy and happy, and on to the next phase of things. But all in all, it's been good. We're 11 down and 3 to go. So we're on the last bit. It seems like it's flown by. Started before spring break, and now we end, Friday. So we're never where we need to be, but at the same time, we're further along where we were in a lot of areas last year.
We were asking the guys, because you have limited time here to build momentum heading into fall. I guess how important is this final week to leave a good taste in your mouth heading into fall?
I don't know if the taste is ever that good. You're always yearning for more. I think the big piece in spring is continue to build on the basics, get better at the basics, and really kind of see either first year, second year, or transfers kind of where they are in 14 practices. How much can they help you? And that's just in March. Or April, excuse me. That could change as we get into fall, because there's a couple months in between now and fall. But I think we can look back after 14 practices and truly say, okay, this guy can help us in this situation. And again, it's April talk. When we get to August, that's August talk, and then so on and so forth from there. But we feel good about where we're at. We've taken a ton of reps in winter, and we've stacked those reps enough to where we feel like we've been efficient in spring from practice 1, and not feel like we're truly starting at practice 1 with practice 1 install. So we've built to get to practice 1. And like I said, we're way further along than we were installation-wise offensively, and then in terms of being more multiple on defense. So excited about the next 3, and then see what those guys do in the next 3 months post spring ball, so we get things going and the real stuff starts in August.
How do you balance getting what you want out of them on Friday, but also staying healthy?
It's one of those pieces where we'll set the parameters of the game. It'll be offense versus defense, red versus white. We just didn't have enough bodies in some positions to be able to draft. Once we kick it off, outside of the quarterbacks being tagged and the special teams portions being tagged, you play ball. I mean, if you're worried about getting hurt, that's when usually people do get hurt. So trying to set them up for success before we got to Friday is where we're at. It's a high collision sport. Unfortunately, that's the worst part of the sport, is there are high collisions that do happen, whether it be in a life situation or not. There's a lot of body movements that take place in this sport, and so for the most part, we've been pretty good. But I don't know that you can necessarily remove yourself from the injury piece unless you're, going to play the whole scrimmage tag. We still need some evaluation from some of those guys, and for a lot of those guys, it'll be the last time they tackle before they get to August. And so we want one last look at those guys. It'll probably be between 60 and 70 snaps total. But the one thing is we want it competitive, and when you're driving competition, that's going to drive some juices and some emotion and some passion, which unfortunately sometimes, you get some dings and dents because of it.
You mentioned the competition part. The guys were just saying that whatever side is not as successful has to eat it for the rest of the summer almost. Yeah. How much do you kind of enjoy that part of what spring is? As you mentioned earlier, the spring, it's supposed to be the fun part of the
Yeah, but you can still be ornery and have fun. I think that's got to drive us in winter, in spring, in summer, and fall. Fall kind of takes care of itself because you're facing a different logo every week. But when we are facing each other, from January really until July, there's got to be banter. I think that's part of competition. Anybody that's competitive, anybody that wants to be the best at what they do, usually they're trying to get an edge in some way, shape, or form. Some of that's a mental edge. Some of that's a competitive edge. So any of that talk is applauded, as long as it doesn't get personal when it's all said and done. But it's one of those pieces where you can carry kind of that banter on one side or the other for 3 months, and when we get to August, it's all said and done, and all of a sudden now we start prepping for our opponents. But I'm excited about this bunch. It's been fun through 11, watching these guys get better, just have a new kind of outlook on themselves, on the guys we brought in, on the freshmen that we think are gonna be productive and impactful this fall for us, that redshirted last fall. So it's been a good blend of guys, ton of reps, a ton of guys in positions, and maybe they're gonna play, maybe they're not gonna play, but we got tape, and the tape is our resume.
When it comes to the spring game, Coach, is there anything specific that you're looking for or hoping to accomplish?
Tight game, competitive game. That's always makes it more fun. Last year went down to the last series. So the defense is going to start out with a lead naturally because the offense or defense, has a harder time to score points. So they'll start with a lead, but competitive in nature. You hope there's some situational football that takes place, so it's not just one or two play, explosive or chunk plays that get to the end zone where there's some red zone, some fringe zone, some fourth downs, all within the house rules or the spring game rules. But at the end of the day, it's this sport's meant to be played physical and competitively, and that's what we intend to do on Friday, no matter who's out there playing.
Now we're getting towards the end of spring here. Has there been anybody that stuck out to you with their growth?
I think a couple young DBs, Son Jones and Jonathan Landry, have played really well. Derek Ganter played for us 4 games last year. Has stepped up again, and those guys are carving out positions, and then they're putting the pressure on the guys in front of them that have more experience, that have played in more ball games. But at the end of the day, we got to do its best for this program, and if that means giving a guy without any experience a chance to be experienced, that's what we got to do. Offensively, we bring a lot of guys back, more so than probably the defense in some of those positions, especially the younger guys. But a lot of those guys from a receiver standpoint have taken a ton of reps with holding some guys out this spring. The running backs have done a fabulous job. Tuna has taken another step. Malik Dotson's taken another couple steps from last fall, who redshirted for us last year. He's playing at a different level right now, albeit he's out. But for about 6 or 8 practices, he was a force to be reckoned with. And those quarterbacks are putting the ball, getting the ball out, and letting those playmakers make plays. So we've gelled up front. I think we're going to be good. It's just a matter of fine tuning a few things and being timely and situational when we get those opportunities. Good.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.